My name is Luke Merrill, and this is my 1940 Chevy two-door sedan that I built for my mom and to compete in the SEMA Battle of the Builders. The car started out in 1990. My dad bought it for my mother as like a project so she could kind of take the kids to car shows and whatnot, and he never got to it. So 27 years later, I decided to get it done for mom. So 2 years later, full-time, 5,000 hours, it's finally done, and here at the SEMA show. The biggest thing up here in the front is going to be the front fender widening. So these front fenders are actually widened 4 1/4 inches on each side. And then also, these fenders used to come flat out. Well, I re-peaked the top of them a little bit, so you had more clearance with the air ride again. This right here, all around here, has all been added on. So this actually used to stop right here, and we added all this onto here, make it flow better, as well as to cover up some of this underhang that was here before. Custom grill, so the grill came from Chevs of the 40s, but then we modified it to make it fit the way we wanted it to fit. Headlights are behind the grill, Oracle LED headlights. Inside under the hood, we have one of the original headlights as an air cleaner. Just all sorts of kind of unique one-off parts under there. Inner fender panels, handmade with a Mittler Bros bead roller, all sorts of stuff like that. Smooth firewall, and it's set back a couple inches. Sides of these fenders, the lips were also redone, so this is all nice and smooth, and we kind of fit it the way we want it to fit. And then also added on a lower valance. We stretched this down 3 1/2 inches so that the whole body seems to sit level with the ground instead of having the front end raised up, because a lot of these most Chevys and Fords from back in the day, they have the front that swoops up higher up here, so it makes the front end look like it's higher than it is. So we stretched that down, and it just makes it look a lot more streamlined. There's no cowl vent, no windshield wipers. Chop top, 4 inches in the front, 3 in the back. Shaved door handles, one-off running boards. Now back here on these doors, these originally used to come straight up like this, and it looked dumb because they're square, because the whole rest of the car is round. So we rounded that. Originally it had drip rails right here, the stamped steel drip rails that were just welded onto the car. So we trimmed all those off, and then we just added some 1/4 inch rod along here and tuliped it out, so it looks like it's got a little tulip, and it keeps the rain from going into your doors. The rear fenders are widened 3 inches on each side, and they're also welded on instead of the original ones bolted on. So we radiused all this out nice and made it all flow good. Extended down the front of these fenders right here to also make it flow a little better, as well as redoing all the lips along here. Now the paint is a one-off mixed paint that I came up with using Summit Racing paints. It's just a mix of a few different colors, and it was the first car that I sprayed, and I loved it, so that's what we stuck with, and I'm really happy with that paint. So with the interior, we wanted something a little modern but also kind of old school. So you can see we used the original bench seats, but then did some modern flair to them. I made all the door panels, did all the mounts, did all the fine tuning on the inside, did the dash, painted the dash, heavily modified the dash, and then I had Cambridge Upholstery help with the headliner and actually stitching up the seats and the door panels. Now back here, this roll pan is a one-off roll pan, and then the taillights that kind of match the same shape as the oval exhaust tips that we made. French license plate, shaved hinges, reshaped the trunk, the edge of the trunk, because none of the lines lined up with the hoot from the factory again, so we have nice consistent gapping all the way around. The backs of these fenders right here were all actually reshaped because these come out more square, so these were reshaped and matched to each other, because from the factory they always had a little bit of difference in one side to the other. Now in the trunk, we got our Rockford Fosgate, subwoofers, and amplifier, Airlift Performance 3P air management, and then we made the hard lines, Nitrous Express dual tank setup here. I decided to take 2 years full time to build this car and compete in SEMA.
We're about halfway through the judging process with the builders putting every detail of these rolling works of art under the microscope.
Right now, the decorated dozen are in the process of ranking all of the vehicles 1 to 12. Next up, we have another young gun. It is Luke Merrill with his 1940 Chevy. Luke, you've got 10 minutes.
Motivation for me, and I know lots of other kids. That basically allows almost a full turn when you're aired out. I'm excited to be one of the top 3 young guns and one of the top 12 overall in the Battle of the Builders. So tomorrow we'll find out. Hopefully it'd be sweet if I win that #1 spot. If not, build this badass car for Mom, and she's super excited about it.